Didn't see you there. I'm kidding. Of course I did. You're a camera after all. But I hope you're doing well. And you know what this means. It's football time again. Arguably the best part of the week, but it helps that it's the weekend. So, similar to last time, I want to go through all the Big 12 games, and then maybe some other college football games that are going on, and a little bit of NFL. Just briefly go over it. So, I hope that you can relax and agree with me on some decisions for the game. It is currently Thursday night as I'm recording this. The Bucks and the Bills are playing. The first quarter is just about to wrap up, so it's 3-0. I don't really care who wins the game. Nobody is on my fantasy team besides the Buffalo kicker, and I don't really care about either team, but I assume Buffalo will win. Maybe that'll age poorly before this video's even out. We'll see. But I'll switch over to the not webcam, but so you can see my screen. So hopefully this doesn't blind you. Oh yeah, dark background, perfect. So, going through the Big 12, there's 3 11 a.m. games, and the first one is West Virginia versus UCF. And, I mean, I would love to see West Virginia win, because I just don't like too many of these new schools. I'd like to see them struggle for the first year. And I don't like UCF because I didn't think they would put up so many points against Oklahoma, and they got like a garbage touchdown. So I'm kind of upset at them about that. But, you know, in the end, I'd like to see West Virginia win. I think they can cover. I don't think UCF is so good that they only lost to Oklahoma by 2 points. I think Oklahoma was just going through something. So, that's where I'm at with that. Sorry, I'm kind of fluctuating with my voice right now. Let me take a sip of water. Okay, moving on. Houston versus K-State. Houston sucks, and I hope I don't come to regret that. But Kansas State is having a quarterback identity crisis where they can't figure out who to play. Will Howard sucks, but they still play him. So we'll see what happens. But like the lines say, I think K-State is just going to wipe the floor with Houston. It's at Kansas State in Manhattan, and it's homecoming weekend. My brother's been prepping for homecoming all week, like the last 2 weeks. And I don't think Houston is going to be ready for a rowdy Manhattan crowd. So I would love to take the 17.5. I would prefer if it was 17. It doesn't have that 0.5 hook, since 17 is a big number, but we'll take it. That's more of picking what I want to see. So, moving on. OU, previously mentioned, playing Kansas. I'm glad to see that Kansas is better than they have been in previous years. They're on an uphill, which is good, because if we can have our schools in the old Big 12 that become good, then it'll be harder for these new schools to really mesh in and take over our throne. But I'm just playing. I think OU will definitely win this game, and I think I'd take the spread at 9, but not 9.5. I'd hope to see this be a pretty good dogfight. Sorry if you can hear voices up above. It's concludes. So yeah, Kansas spread if it's 9. Moving on to the 2:30. BYU in Texas. Also a school, Texas that is having a quarterback crisis. Now that Ewers is out, allegedly their second string is decent. I don't even know his name. I just know the third is the Manning guy, Arch Manning, and he's not playing. But I don't know. BYU is like not great, and going to Texas, I don't really think they're going to jive there well, which makes sense why the spread is like 19. Honestly, I wouldn't touch this game though. No, Texas is going to win, and big spreads like this I usually don't care to like get involved with that much. So probably more of a stay away game. I know there's somewhere on here where you can find like team totals. Maybe that would be something to go after, but big game that I care about also at 2:30. May be able to pay attention to, but Iowa State coming off of their bye week, going to Baylor. It won't be 110 degrees out again, so no more 10 gate. But ISU favored by 3 most spots, and I think that they should be able to cover that. Matt Campbell, our head coach, had a press conference and made up a stat that said teams lose 70% of the time they come off of a bye week, which was fact-checked and shows that it was only 50%. So I don't know what exactly he's trying to push right now, but I would love to see a nice rally after the bye week for Iowa State. They did pretty good going into the bye week. Everything considered so far this season, I'm very happy with how Iowa State is doing and where they're sitting. So I think, the rest of our season is Baylor this week. Week after is Kansas at home for homecoming, which I'll be going to. Then BYU in Utah. So 3 winnable games. And then Texas in Ames, so at Iowa State home, and then in Manhattan to play K-State the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And those last 2 games are not so much of a gimme style, not even gimme, but like very winnable games. Texas and K-State will be a bit of a toughie. I have hope. We'll see. I think it's important to win at least 2 of the next 3. I'd love to see Iowa State in a bowl game this year. But enough about me raving about being a homer. Iowa State, take the spread. Big 12, Cincinnati versus OSU. Both of these teams are ridiculous. They're kind of all over the place, and that you can see the spreads don't really agree with each other across different books. But I don't believe that Cincinnati will be able to win this game, and with the spread sitting at a touchdown, I think that you just play the hook. So 7, play whoever you want, and then if it's plus 6.5 or minus 6.5, OK State, 7.5, Cincinnati. Both these teams are really like wild toss-up though, in my eyes. So bad analysis, but I wouldn't touch this game either. That's all the Big 12 games for this week. So moving on to some other games. Gotta mention Colorado because of how annoying they are. I'm a very much not a Colorado fan, so watching them get absolutely pummeled by UCLA should hopefully be a good time to spend your Saturday evening, unless you're a Colorado fan. And then I'm not looking forward to having to deal with Coach Prime next season when Colorado joins the Big 12 and is probably one of our main opponents, however they divide it up. That's just what I wanted to talk about with Colorado. Ohio State and Wisconsin. Wisconsin just had a great comeback against Illinois. They were down 17 points and came back last week. I was in Madison when it happened, and the game was played in Illinois, so it wasn't a home game, but it was fun to see everybody's mood switch when the comeback happened. With that being said, I think Wisconsin is a bad team. They were in a position where they needed to make a 17-point comeback against Illinois, and Illinois is a bad team. I think Ohio State will just clobber them. I don't know if I would touch the spread, though, because I don't think there will be a lot of points in the game. I do believe that Ohio State could win by more than 2 touchdowns, but I don't think that enough points will really be scored to allow that. So, Indiana and Penn State, not really much to say about this game because I don't really know either of them. I just saw that the spread was 32 and was like, wow, some books don't even offer lines to just bet the money line. Just wanted to throw that out there. And then Maryland and Northwestern. Spread of 14 on Northwestern. Northwestern also sucks. Maryland, they're pretty mid. But I think the over-under is a little high for a Northwestern game. So I would definitely take the under on that. That's the only read I have on this game for no particular reason either. Man, we're at 12 minutes already. This is a lot more chill. I do enjoy it. Last, NFL. This is the first time I'm looking at any of these games. I was distraught on Monday when my Brock Purdy got destroyed by the Vikings. Not destroyed, but wasn't great. Vikings and Packers. My friend is going out to the bars tonight up where he lives, and he's dressing up as the scariest thing he could think of, which is a Packers fan. Do with that what you will. Dolphins, they could score another 70 points on the Patriots, I think. I don't think they will, but they could get up there, is what I'm saying. New York, Battle of New York, whatever. Let's see. I would like the Saints to win. I think it'd be good, especially after that demoralizing loss against the Raiders. Have no worry about the Eagles taking on the Commanders. Browns. I don't really know much about them, but they have a pretty low over-under. I guess the New York game is the lowest, though, isn't it? Interesting. Ravens, I think if you're in a Survivor and you have the Ravens still, they're a pretty good pick, pretty much anybody against the Cardinals. Let's be real. Chiefs, just going to destroy the Broncos. 49ers, I really hope they can give it to the Bengals. I really don't want the 49ers to be owned by the state of Ohio. That's all that'll be said. I really hope that they can cover 3.5. We'll see. I know Brock Purdy got a concussion, but he was practicing today, Thursday, so. And then probably the worst, maybe not the worst, but a very bad primetime game is the Bears and the Chargers. Anybody the Bears play, they're going to lose. I have no idea if Justin Fields is back. I don't even know the backup. I don't really keep in touch with the Bears anymore. And then Monday night, the Lions and the Raiders. Hopefully the Lions do better than they did last week when they just got blown out, basically, besides the garbage touchdown. But the Raiders are a lot. Well, I don't know what the Raiders are. after beating the Saints, I think they deserve a little more credit than 8.5, but that might be a lot of recency bias. So that's where I sit with these games. Let me know what you think. And I've been a little under the weather, for those sticking around. I've been a little under the weather this week, so I'm thinking that Sunday's video may be more of a just sit down, chill, and talk type video, rather than a like role play or tapping or stuff like that. There'd be stuff on the side, but I'm not really in the energy mode to put together something right now. So I'm happy to have the time, kind of just sitting around tonight to get this made, and I'll put it out Friday morning-ish, late